Thank you for joining Cancer Support Community Atlanta for this program. Please visit our website, cscatlanta.org, for a complete list of live and recorded events. We invite you to sign up for our newsletter to stay connected to all future programs.
Hello, welcome to a movement practice for neuropathy. And today's focus will be the hands. So we will focus on movement of the hands to facilitate blood flow, to facilitate lymphatic flow, to remove toxins, as well as to bring oxygen to the tissues and to restore some movement if there is tightness or strength issues of the hands, which can help reduce the symptoms of neuropathy. Very good. So let's go ahead and get started. You'll need both your hands here. Let's start with just by rubbing the hands together, just getting a little blood flow, warming them up a little bit. Almost like you're washing your hands, get between the fingers. You can use your thumbs to scrub, get the palms, get the back sides, get down into the wrists, and really up into the forearms as well. So we'll just spend a minute or two stimulating, moving. You can do squeezes down and back up. Whatever feels good for you. We're just getting some touch going and some movement, some blood flow, some awakening, warming. Great. So there are different ways to move the hands in this program. There are passive movements and then there are active. So we're going to start with a more passive practice. You can do this when you're sitting around, when you're lying around in bed, while you're in the car, unless you're the driver, when you're waiting in waiting rooms. You can just spend a little bit of time, working with the hands. So we're going to start with a passive movement where we are moving the joints of the fingers, specifically these lower joints, with the opposite hand. So passive means we're not actively moving the hands, we're using another hand to move them, or you can have a loved one do this. So we're going to bring the right palm up and with the fingers spread out. So a little distance between the fingers and a straight wrist. So we're not going to pull the wrist back. This would be a bent wrist. This would be a straight wrist. And we're just going to start by working with the fingers. So I'm going to take a little alligator hand with the thumb on the bottom and my other fingers on top. And I'm going to place the thumb under the middle knuckle of my pinky. And I'm going to bring the other fingers on top so that I'm supporting that joint. Then keeping a straight wrist, I'm going to gently pull the pinky back and down. So down and back. And I'm just going to hold there for a moment. And then I'm going to gently pull the pinky out to the side as I keep it stretching down. And then let's move on to the ring fingers. I'm going to put 4 fingers on top on the palm side of the ring finger. I'm going to place my thumb under, and then I'm going to gently take that finger back and down, trying to get it to point towards the ground. The other fingers are spread out, and I'm moving this finger. I'm not moving it with my other hand. I'm keeping a straight wrist instead of bending my wrist. So that gives the illusion that I've moved my finger, but I really haven't moved my finger. So keep a nice straight wrist. You can rest your forearm, if you like, on your leg. Let's move to the tall man finger or the middle finger. Thumb under the mid knuckle. Rest of the fingers clamp on top, and we're going to gently pull back, keeping a straight wrist, taking that finger through whatever range of motion you have, keeping the other fingers spread out. And then let's move on to the pointer finger. So thumb underneath the mid knuckle, other fingers on top, and gently traction and pull that finger down in a downward motion. Keeping a nice straight wrist. And then we're going to hold the thumb like a joystick. Remember those joysticks that used to be with games? So I'm just going to clamp my whole thumb and I'm going to traction the thumb away and towards me with my fingers facing forward. So moving that thumb joint and stretching, and then I'm going to stretch it down towards the ground. But I'm supporting the joint. I'm not going into pain. I'm just moving into whatever range where I feel a stretch. Very good. And then release. We're going to rub the hands out a little bit, rub the fingers, rub the base of the fingers on the palm side. And then let's stretch the fingers back together and then we'll include the thumb. So I'm going to keep a straight wrist, take my thumb underneath all four knuckles and put the other fingers on top and then gently stretch the fingers back, keeping a straight wrist. I'm not bending at the wrist here. I'm just bending the fingers back and down towards the ground. Now I'm going to bring the thumb into the side of my hand, readjust my hand so that I'm bringing the thumb into the stretch as well. And now I'm going to pull my fingers back as well as my wrist. So I've gone from not a straight wrist to a bent wrist. So now I'm stretching up into these wrist tissues. Keeping a bent arm, keeping my shoulders relaxed down away from my ears and sitting tall. Good, relax, shake the hand out. And I'm going to bring my elbow in and my hand in and let my hand just flop down. I'm going to once again take my hand to my fingers, alligator clamp, just the fingers, thumb is out. And I'm just going to stretch my fingers down and back towards my wrist, keeping straight fingers here. So not only am I stretching the fingers, but I'm stretching the wrist. And then I'm going to bring my thumb in and tuck it in with the rest of my hand. Pull off the thumb in the stretch. And then rub those hands out again. Okay, moving on to the other hand. Let's do a little awareness, just a little self-awareness. Bring your hands to your lap with your palms up. Close your eyes for a moment. And just notice how the hand that you just worked on feels compared to the hand that you did not work on passively. It may feel more tingly. It may feel warmer. It may feel more alive. Mine appears to be slightly a different color because I have facilitated blood flow. So let's work the other hand. Very good. We're going to start with the straight wrist, palm up, elbow in, shoulder down. I'm going to alligator clamp, thumb under the middle joint of the pinky, spread the fingers out wide, and go ahead and gently traction that pinky away and down. Well, I feel a stretch in the whole stripping hand, not just my finger. And then let's move on to the next finger. Same thing. Thumb goes under the middle joint, fingers clamp down, and I gently stretch away and down. Be a nice straight wrist. Let's move on to the middle finger, going away and down. And pointer finger, thumb under, support the joint, gently pull out, away from the body and down. Breathing as you're stretching. For the thumb, I'm going to take my whole hand and just wrap it around my thumb, pull out and down to wherever I feel a stretch, keeping once again a straight wrist, a relaxed shoulder. Moving on to all the fingers, taking my thumb underneath. The opposite thumb is out. We're starting with just the fingers, a nice straight wrist, and I'm gently tractioning the fingers back. I'm not bending from the wrist yet. I'm just stretching the fingers down and back. When I involve the thumb is when I'm going to bring the wrist into the motion or the movement or the stretch. So I'm going to bring this thumb into the side of my hand, readjust, gently pull the fingers back, but also pull the wrist back. My elbow is in, facing the floor. And that would look like this from a side view, this from a front view. If we leave the thumb out, we've missed this whole strip of stretch. Good, go ahead and shake the hand out, let it be floppy and relaxed. Bring the elbow in and down, let the hand relax. Take the opposite hand, alligator, clamp the fingers, gently traction the fingers down. The wrist is bent in this one, but the thumb is out on the initial stretch. Now we're going to take the thumb in, and now we're just going to really use the whole hand. I'm going to pull gently, traction gently away and then down, trying to bring my fingers towards my forearm and my wrist, curling it down and around. And rub it out. So that was some passive movement. Let's do a little active movement now. So we're going to start by holding the hands up, elbows in and down. Relax those shoulders down away from your ears, and just spread your fingers out as wide as you can. We're trying to get the middle finger to point straight up, the pinky to point out to the side, and the thumbs to face each other. Getting a nice L here between and a backwards L here between the pointer and the thumb. Let's bring the thumb and the pinky together and then separate them. Bring the ring finger and the thumb together. Keep the other fingers back and stretched out as far as you can. Release middle and thumb. And then index and thumb. And then stretch everything out wide again. We're going to go backwards. So index and thumb, keeping the other fingers pointed up and stretched as far apart as you can. Release middle finger and thumb. Keep spreading and stretching. Release ring finger and thumb. Release pinky and thumb. And release. Good. Shake those hands out down by your side. Rub them out a little bit again. It's a lot of work down into all the muscles and tissues of the forearms. And shake it out. Let's roll the shoulders up and back a few times. This is my trusty assistant, Tilly. And we're going to move on to using the seat of a chair to load the tissues of the hands and forearms and wrist. And so you control how much weight you put into your hands. We're going to position some things and align some things and then stretch, as well as work on strengthening because we're holding some of our body weight up. So go ahead and come to standing and find yourself a chair. The seat of a chair is what we're going to be using. And I'm going to face my chair towards the camera so that everybody can see. And what we're going to do is hinge forward from our hips and place our hands in the chair. This is like table position when you're on your hands and knees in yoga. I'm going to spread the fingers out on each of my hands as wide as I can, trying to point the middle finger towards the top of the chair, the thumbs towards each other, and the pinkies out to the sides. I then am going to squeeze my elbows together to bring the crease in my elbow forward. So instead of being out here with my shoulders up near my ears, I'm squeezing my elbows together. If your elbows hyperextend, it's okay to put just a little bend. And now I'm going to rock forward and back. As I rock forward, I'm noticing more pressure in my wrist and my fingers and my forearms because I'm loading those bones and tissues and joints and muscles more. Just a little rocking forward and back. You can bend your knees if you want to. All right, I'm going to then move my hands out. So I'm going to point my fingers to the sides of the chair. Now my thumbs are pointing straight out. My pinkies are trying to point towards me and my fingers are pointing away from each other. My arms are going to be a little closer together on this one. If you can get your whole hand on the chair, that's great. If your hand comes off, you're keeping your fingers straight and you're bringing your elbow pits forward once again. On this one, we're going to rock side to side. When you rock to the left, you feel more weight and pressure in your left hand and wrist. And when you rock to your right, even though my fingers are curled off to the side here, I'm keeping them straight and not gripping the chair. And coming back to center, I'm going to flip my palms down to face, thumbs to the side, my fingertips facing myself and squeezing my elbows together, trying to bring my elbow pit down. I'm going to walk forward a little bit and I'm rocking forward and back. On this particular stretch, this one's more intense. I'm trying to keep straight fingers. And when I rock back is when I feel the most weight and pressure in the stretch as well as in my hands and on my wrists. And then slowly come out and shake those hands out. We can go one more direction, and that's with the fingers facing each other. Squeeze my elbow pits in towards the center. Spread the fingers out as wide as I can, trying to get the pinkies to face this part of the chair, the thumbs to face me, and the middle fingers to face each other. And I'm going to rock side to side again on this one. I'm kind of hitting the back of the chair. I have the chair this way so you all can see me a little bit better. You can see what my hands are doing. And to go ahead and stand up and shake out those hands. I'm going to kneel down just so you all can see me better. And then let's give the hands some love. Give yourself your hand massage, your hand rub, your hand washing. Get each finger. You can spend a little time rubbing each finger out. You can spend a little time rubbing the palm out, the back of the hand. When you're practicing at home, you can spend a little more time than we're having here if that feels good. You can Indian burn up the forearms and then get the other hand as well. Very good. We're going to do a practice called popcorn hands. This is great if you've been gripping things a lot, or if you've had your hands on a mouse, or you've been climbing, or if your hands are just sore or tired. So popcorn is really popcorn fingers. You're going to start with a fist. You're not pulling that fist super hard, but you're going to just start to open up the hands like your fists are unpopped kernels, and then you're slowly popping them out, and then you're popping them back closed. So you're kind of moving in phases. So it will look like this: pop, 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 open, pop, 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 close. Let's do 10 of these. Are you ready? Here we go. Pop, 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 open, pop, 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 close, pop, 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 open. That's 2. Pop, 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 close. Oh, pop, 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 open. That's 3. Pop, 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 close. Pop, 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 open. That's 4. Pop, 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 close. Pop, 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 open. Pop, 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 close. Pop, 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 open. Pop, 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 close. This is 6. Pop, 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 open. Pop, 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 close. There we go. 7. Close. 8. Close. 9. Close. 10. And close. Good. Rub those hands together again. Very good. Shake them out. Oh, let's bring our arms out by our sides. I'm going to move my chair around. Let's inhale those arms halfway up. Spread your fingers out wide. Reach your hands away from each other. Exhale all the way up over your head, pulling the shoulders down away from your ears. Palms are facing. We're going to inhale back down, halfway down. Reach those fingers away. Spread your fingers out wide. Exhale all the way down. Here we go. Inhale out and up. Spread the fingers. Reach, reach, reach all the way up this time. Exhale all the way down. Inhale all the way up. Hold them up here. Turn your palms to face forward. Turn your palms to face away. Turn your palms to face back as far as you can. We're going to rotate the palms. Rotate the palms. That's 3, 4, 5. Keep those fingers spread. We've got this team. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Exhale, bring those arms down. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Lift your elbows up. Press your palms together. Fingers are closed. Thumb is in. Let's take the hands away from the chest slightly and start to rotate the fingers towards you like you're pointing at yourself. Make sure you keep the shoulders down away from the ears on this one. Let's go ahead and point the fingertips up, point away from you, and point them down. Come up a little bit higher. Here we go. Out, up, towards, out, up, down. Let's do 2 more. Here we go. Rotating as far as you can, keeping the shoulders down away from your ears. Down as far as you can. 1 more. Release it down. Roll those shoulders up and back a few times. Good. Shake your hands out again. Let them be floppy, relaxed. Go ahead and make fists. You're going to fist bump yourself with your elbows about shoulder height. Shoulders are down away from the ears. I'm going to slowly bring the backs of the hands together. I'm going to hold my index finger in with my thumbs. Try to put the backs of the hands together as far as you can. Try to pull the elbows down and the shoulders down away from your ears and keep those index fingers in. Let's rock this side to side. Keep the index fingers in. Wrap them in, hold them in. They want to come out. And then release. Bring your hands together at your heart center again. Elbows are out to the sides. Just press the arms side to side. Clasp your fingers together. Flip your palms out. Bring your hands down. Trying to make a little cave here, a little U type. Instead of being the hands flat, you're pressing the fingers down. Bring it back out. Here we go. We're inhaling up and exhaling back down. Keep those fingers intertwined. 2 more. Inhale up. Keep your shoulders down. Exhale down. This time, hold your thumbs down. Pull your thumbs away. Inhale up. And exhale down. Good. Release your hands. Shake them out one more time. Rub them together. Give them a little washing. Squeeze down the forearms and back up. All the way up to the tips of the fingers and then back down. Get the thumb as well. Start at the tips of the fingers. Squeeze down all the way to the elbow and then back up. And then one more time back down. Bring your hands down. Close your eyes for a moment. Let your hands relax. Let your fingers curl up. Let's take a nice breath in through the nose. Exhale. Notice how both hands feel now. Let your eyes drift open and go ahead and give yourselves a hand. Great job, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's neuropathy movement practice for your hands. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you for joining Cancer Support Community Atlanta for this program. If you're interested in other live or recorded programs, please visit the online program tab of our website, cscatlanta.org, or follow us on Facebook. We'll be sharing additional information on upcoming programs.